Okay, good morning and welcome to Walton on the Naze, up on top of the sea cliffs. So I'm looking out to the North Sea. My glasses are falling on the floor, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. Not strictly ham radio, well, not ham radio at all really, but what you're looking at there is a Inov Antennas 3-element loop fed array for 162 megahertz, which is the top of the marine band, VHF marine band. And I'm doing a bit of ship's AIS tracking. And what you can see on the roof of the car here is a GPS aerial. And I'll take you inside. I've put a my tarp over the windscreen so that you can see what I can see what I'm doing. And it's also, I've got marine band antenna on the roof of the car, which isn't actually plugged into anything at the moment. But the idea is that I can listen as well. Okay, so what we've got here, this is my iPad that I'm using to display the AIS data on. But before we get to that, so what I've got here, this is a Quark Elec wireless AIS and GPS receiver. So basically what we've got is we've got the AIS antenna output here, GPS antenna which is on the roof of the car, and Wi-Fi out here which is linking in wirelessly obviously to the iPad. And these outputs here, these are NMEA, which is an acronym for the National Marine Electronics Association. It's a standard data format for integration of other marine equipment that uses GPS, like chart plotters, VHF radios, and of course AIS. So I've got the antenna at the moment pointing over towards Sealand, which is also known as Ruff's Tower. Okay, so this is the Navionics app on the iPad, and I just did some filming, and I've got you on a head mount, so I'm trying not to move my head around too much. But I just sort of filmed a few minutes worth of film and realised that you couldn't really see very well, so I'll start again at the beginning. So the best way really to view the targets is to kind of zoom out, because when you zoom in, the chart gets quite cluttered, as you can see. You can change the display and the overlay, so you can get satellite imagery, etc. But we're just on sort of straightforward nautical charts at the moment. And so if I zoom in, like I say, it gets cluttered. But what you can see here, I'll take a screenshot of that. I'm just measuring the distance really. I've just pointed the antenna towards the Ruff's Tower, which is also known as Sealand, which is some old wartime defences. You can read all about that if you're interested. Just Google Sealand, Ruff's Tower, R-O-U-G-H-S, Ruff's Tower, and you'll see all about it. So anyway, that's at a distance of 8.5 miles from here, on a heading of 75 degrees. And that was just so that I could get this sort of antenna pointing in a known direction without getting the compass out. And as I zoom out, then it's much easier to pick out the actual, press the close for that. It's actually much easier to then pick out the AIS targets. Now this target here, the Maersk or the Maersk Stralsund, the Maersk Stralsund, which I think is a container ship, that's showing a distance of 27 miles, and that's on its way to Felixstowe, which are the docks up just sort of to my north, to my left from where I'm sitting at the moment. That was a bit further away when I first spotted it. I think it was about 35 miles away, something like that. So you put the cursor, or the crosshairs if you prefer, over the top and press the question mark, and then you'll come up with all the AIS information. So it gives you the MMSI, which is the 9-digit unique number, its location, lat long, and a call sign, AIS Class A and Class B, so this one happens to be Class A because it's a large vessel. Class B uses less power. It transmits and it times the transmissions differently, and Class A uses 12.5 watts, and Class B uses 5, I think. It might even be 2, I'm not quite sure. So that's speed over ground, you can see there, 13 miles an hour. Course over ground, 244.5 degrees. And then you've got the size and the draft, etc. Doesn't display pictures because obviously it's not online. But you can use this sort of in conjunction with marine traffic as well. So I'm not sort of really pointing in that direction. I'm kind of pointing up a little bit more. And as you can see on the charts here, I'll take a photo of that again. You can see where we are with the red arrow in the middle there, and these sort of the white shaded lighter area there are the maps that I've downloaded whilst I was online, so you can get the charts for offline use. So I'm not really receiving anything particularly far away at the moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the aerial and point it roughly in that direction, sort of more or less sort of southeast of me down here. See if I can pick anything up down towards the Thames estuary down in this direction, and may even pick up a few vessels sort of like down in Brighton Sea Clacton area, although they tend to be probably more pleasure vessels. Although having said that, we've got a Gunfleet wind farm just off the coast as well, on Gunfleet Sand, and you can see it here. We may get some wind farm support vessels down there as well. So I'm actually on the wrong side now to turn the aerial, so I'm going to reach over and turn it in this direction. Okay, so I've swung the antenna now down towards the southeast. It's now I've picked up a target down there that I wasn't seeing before, which is the Ocean Warrior, which I know for a fact is a wind farm support vessel, and that's at a distance at the moment of 9.3 miles. So you've got the MMSI number and all the other information the same as we were getting before, and it's showing the last transmission was about 16 seconds ago. And I'll show you a photo of that I've taken previously. I used to upload photos of boats to a website called Pinkfruit, and Pinkfruit is the website that's all part of the Ship Finder app, which is very similar to marine traffic. And I stopped uploading those photos a few years back now because it became actually quite difficult to upload multiple files, so it became quite consuming, and it was quite consuming anyway to see the boat, find the MMSI number, upload the photos, blah blah blah. It was just sort of quite tedious. But anyway, so it's picking up that, and if I zoom in, you can actually see that oh, it's disappeared now. It's actually disappeared off the plot. And what happens is if I zoom back out, you can see there, that's Gunfleet Wind Farm. It says Gunfleet Sand there. But as I zoom out, and then it becomes less cluttered, when a vessel has been seen but then drops off the reception for whatever reason, if it's more than likely because it's getting further away, the icon will display a little red cross, and that tells you that it's no longer receiving that. But they can come in and out. It's not unusual for that to happen. So that's disappeared, but it has actually appeared again. But as you can see, the map can get, as you zoom in, can get really quite cluttered, which, if you're navigating, is obviously quite good, because they're all features that you need to be aware of. But for my purposes, maybe not quite so good. Okay, so the most distant vessel that I'm getting now is the Orion Bohemia, which I wasn't receiving before. I'm not sure what that type of vessel that is, but I will put a target up, sorry, a photo up once there's a tanker ship, it says there. So that's 25 miles. The vessel I was looking at earlier on, the Maersk Stralsund, is now getting closer, and that's now 25 miles. And if I actually zoom in, and again I'll get a screenshot of this, you can see where it is now coming to this buoy here, which is what it calls sunk centre, and you can see a kind of a convergence of shipping lanes, and I think that that buoy there effectively acts as a kind of the centre of a roundabout. Okay, the aerial keeps moving of its own accord because I'm sort of parked on a bit of an incline, but so I'm pointing roughly now at towards the port of Felixstowe and Harwich. So let's see what we're picking up. Okay, now I'm picking up quite a few vessels down there, but actually earlier on I was saying that it helps if you sort of zoom out because it's less cluttered. When you've got a lot of targets, vessels all sort of centered around one place like that, it actually helps if you zoom in. So I'm getting a vessel here, it's called the Arklow Clipper, and that is on its way to Ipswich, I would assume, because it's heading up the River Orwell. Hasn't actually given its destination. It was a GBIPS, yeah, so that's obviously GB, Great Britain, I'm assuming, and an abbreviation for Ipswich. So that's on its way to Ipswich. But I did just notice, I'd had a look on marine traffic, and one of the advantages of using this is obviously you've got no inbuilt latency, because according to marine traffic, the vessel was not as far sort of up the approaches there as it was in real time, as it were. I've got another vessel coming down here. It's not displayed its name as yet, so I'm not sure what that is. But as you see, it's quite a few vessels in the port there. I'll take another screenshot, and you can see them displayed as green. So what have we got here? See, until they have, until the vessels sort of transmit a more detailed data burst, they're often missing information. So, for example, I've got the vessel here, Barney. So, if I click on that again, that will tell me all about it. But some vessels won't display the name. See if I can find one. So this one here, for example, that's actually the pilot vessel St Cuthbert. That is displaying the name, and there'll be another one that I've taken a photo of as well. So I'll put that up. A photo of that. But let me try and find one that's not displaying a name. That's the Arklow Clipper again. So this one here, not displaying the name. So at some point that will transmit more information that will include the name. Anyway, that's enough of that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the 857 out, and I'm going to have a little listen around on 2 meters and possibly 70 sems. Well, I'm not hearing anything on 2 meters or 70 sems, so I'm going to give that up. Now, I know somebody will say, why don't you put a call out? And that's a fair question. But again, it's not one it's not one I really have an answer for, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'm kind of running out of time anyway, so I don't want to get too involved. If I put a call out, somebody might come back, mightn't they? And that's not part of the plan. Anyway, I think that's it. 7-3.